Hi, this is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting from hot, sunny, dry, nasty, but always delightful Rare Evo in Las Vegas. And this is episode 3 of Chaz and Ginger Snaps, the infrequent show that sometimes, maybe kind of sort of, we record when we have the time on the road or off the road. And I'm with my lovely co-host,
Hello.
Tamara Haasen, also known as Ginger Snaps. It's nice to have you on.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
I know.
Good to get the podcast back together.
Well, you get all the podcasties back there. So what do you think of Rare Evo?
Rare Evo, gosh, this year, I've been here every year. I think we were at the first one. This is the third one or the second one? Fourth. Okay.
It's the fourth one.
I think I've been to about 3, and this one is by far the best. Very well curated. There's a really good vibe in here as well.
What is the vibe like? Let's get into that.
Oh my gosh, this is the first time I haven't had multiple people come and complain to me at every corner. Everybody just seems very optimistic. There's like a real sense of hope, and I think people are seeing like the fruits of their labor, as so to speak. Everybody's evolving. I mean, I saw Dan Friedman. He's evolving his business. Everybody's sort of finding their place, finding their role, finding their finding their place in the ecosystem. And I think it's just camaraderie too. There's a lot of good people here. There's just so much great networking as well. So yeah, I've never actually been to such a balanced, healthy crypto conference, if I'm honest. It's really nice.
The Governance Day was an interesting add-on as well, and you participated in the first day. What did you think of the Governance Day, both at Topgolf and the other two governance
So I didn't get to participate a lot at the golf day, but the first day, they're just, again, I love a good retrospective. As you know, with our company, we do retrospectives all the time, especially when you do complex things like build a government. You should do a retrospective to see maybe what happened, what went wrong, what went right. So I just think it was the exact thing to do. And I think it gives everybody a chance to actually share their opinion in a very well facilitated way. And I think it was done very, very well by our team. Actually, we facilitated all 3 days, did we? I think it was just well facilitated, and people realized, governance is hard, but also there was moments of, we actually did this, though, and they realized the MVP was the MVP and what needs to change. So I wasn't there for the next 2 days, so maybe you tell me what happened on the next 2 days. It was more solutions focused. The first day was, okay, maybe we need these types of things to evolve the system to its next level, because systems are complex. I was under the impression that the next 2 days would be about solutioning. So is that what they did?
The second day was a little bit about discussion of the first day, and the third day was a bit different because it was more developer focused, and it was talking about technologies. But the second day and the first day in particular, what we were really doing was acknowledging that any time you do this, there's a 3-legged stool, and we used to have just one leg. It was a Genesis keys and executive function. Right. Judge, jury, and executioner, and now we have 2 legs. We have legislative and judicial, but we lost the executive leg. So we're trying to get that leg back, and we're trying to figure out how do we get it back without it killing us. And I think most people, for the most part, are okay with the idea of reintroducing some executive function into the ecosystem. That was at least my take. I don't know what your take was.
I was the one who stood up last year, too, and said, hey, this is a network state. We're building a network state. We need a budget. But as you know, with our own company, this is just a standard thing, but it's not a standard thing for ecosystems. When you're building these things, you need North Stars. It's like you can put a budget together, but what are your KPIs? What are your North Stars that you're actually building for? You can be the blockchain for all things, but I mean, even if you're built technically to do all things, like in different sectors, you still need to, in order to be successful or give people guidance across the ecosystem, it is nice to have some KPIs and some North Stars. And they don't have to all be growth North Stars or product North Stars or technical ones. They can be across a range of KPIs. There could be governance KPIs. There can be obviously growth, product, research. You just have these North Stars that are measurable, so then you can kind of see where you're going and if you're being successful going there. And then when you're in a decentralized ecosystem, people can kind of look to those and build or innovate or fund projects. And it just gives you a little bit more of a vision, a cohesive vision in a decentralized ecosystem. So I think the word executive might scare people because it's kind of counterintuitive to decentralization. It's like when they made me the queen of BitNation. I always quote that because it's like my first foray into crypto, and they're like, you could be the queen of BitNation. I'm like, aren't we building something a little bit more decentralized here?
It's a decentralized
It's
queen.
a decentralized queen, yes. So maybe the word executive is maybe scaring people,
Right.
but it's required, I think, to really win if you're going to win. But we're not in the era of winning either. We're in the era of rising tides. I just think it gives us more maturity and to collaborate and to really build the system and grow the system quicker, but in a more meaningful, healthy way.
Yeah.
And I think other ecosystems will look to us for, they'll look to us and say, hey, maybe we should do that as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Well, we've avoided a lot of the catastrophic mistakes that some of these on-chain DAOs and on-chain
Yeah.
governance have, like where we're not plastering private jets with our logo and, sponsoring soccer teams and, various
We
countries.
almost sponsored a soccer team.
I almost bought a soccer
Oh,
team.
yeah, we
but
almost
that was
bought
a
it.
Jinja Hippos, and it
Yeah.
was like $250,000.
And that was an IO thing.
Yeah, that was just because I always wanted to own a football team.
Yeah.
And also just a good way to do business in
We didn't
Uganda.
pay to play, essentially.
No, we're not
we
putting
never
$17
have.
million for Manchester or something like that,
Yeah,
the
ridiculous.
uniforms. And so we avoided a lot of those mistakes, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But, they're just foundational things that we have to sort out, like how do we do a budget process that's
Yeah.
quick, or, how do we set KPIs for the ecosystem as a whole, or what is the product roadmap and how do we pull from it? Because we have all this amazing execution capability, but the
Yeah.
execution capability either is unable to unilaterally move or they're not sure how to move
Mm-hmm.
for it. And so when we look at a roadmap, for example, we say, oh, okay, well, I can do A or B,
Yeah.
but who gets to tell me if it's A and who gets to tell me if it's B? I just
Yeah.
need somebody to tell me,
Yeah.
and then we can go and execute and get that done. So it's nice that people are starting to be adults about it and have a nice conversation. The other cool part was that 38% of the voting power was in one place. And I think over time that'll grow.
Yeah.
And that means you actually have the deciders in the room. And you say, like, what do you want to do? You actually have the voice. You actually have the
Exactly.
vote. So it's not like, governance theater where you go around and say, what do you want to do with governance? It's actually the ability to get things done.
Yeah, and the
you
people
know?
with the real stake, literally, in the ecosystem making the decisions. Yeah, I love that. That's huge. 38% is huge.
Massive,
Yeah.
And so also everybody got funded. Intersect is funded, IOE is funded, IOR is funded,
Amazing.
Catalyst is funded.
Yes.
It's really incredible when you look at all the different proposals that finally got over the line. So
Yeah.
we're very appreciative of that. But now we work for the ecosystem. It's like
I
we got a
know.
boss for the first time
Me
ever.
too. I love it.
Yeah, it's going to be
Love
fun
it.
to get all that done. So let's pivot a little bit. This is the IO booth at Rare Evo,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an experiment. We are actually beta testing it for Token 2049. What do you think of the IO booth?
I love this. I love having a quiet space in the midst of the turmoil, but it's great to have a quiet space to actually have discussions like this. And this is a different format, right, for
Yeah.
people to understand what's going on. And you can pull some incredible people in just off the floor to have great podcasts. I love it. And it's not too big either. It's a perfect size. It's intimate.
Yeah.
We'll put some nice, fun things on the walls.
But more generally, the conference booth, not just.
I thought you meant this.
Well, this is
yes,
this
is awesome.
This is
Oh,
my
you mean
this is
our
my
booth.
safe space. This is my happy space.
This is
I'm
where
just
we-
gonna lock the door.
We come in here to cry sometimes.
Yeah.
This is our napatorium. We come in here to cry. No, this is really nice. Sorry, I thought you meant this. Our booth is the best
Oh,
we've
yeah.
ever had.
Yeah.
This is amazing. And just seeing all of our products of IO, like we just spawn so many things, and you spawn so many things, because there's even some of your companies in here that are not IO in particular. This is the best booth we've ever had. And to see it cascade that way and then seeing midnight at the end, it's absolutely amazing. And it's very interactive. We've got games going on. You've got Quantum Hosky demoing that. You have your brother and his new game consoles over
Yeah.
there. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Oh, Hoskbrew is amazing. Yeah, we
Hoskbrew.
created our own video games. I guess what I was getting at is that this is the first time we've really started rolling out the new brand of
Yes.
input-output, the
Yes.
new input-output. Because we used to be IOHK.
We
And we
did.
just never got around to actually changing the name. And,
Yeah.
it's kind like input-output global. Ugh.
Yeah.
Now it's input-output group. So
It
much better.
is.
Yeah. So let's
I
talk
like
about
to
the new
call it
brand.
IO.
Yeah, IO is probably the way to go.
Yeah.
So let's talk about IO.
Yeah.
What is the new IO? And then what is the new brand?
Well, we've been working towards the new brand. We haven't changed the brand per se. We're still, I think, keeping the whole notion of cascading disruption, because that's kind of what we do. We cascade new projects, new systems. As you say, we build ecosystems, we build on ecosystems, and we extract value from those ecosystems. So that's sort of our investment thesis. We've kind of turned into a venture studio along the way. So what is the new IO? The new IO is a full-on venture studio now that does those three things. And it's also a business unit model as well. And we also are building a venture ecosystem sort of around that to sort of fuel our venture studio. So the venture ecosystem concept is essentially building different nodes all over the world. Some could be product development nodes, some could be talent development nodes. And we're domiciling different offices in different places all over the world to actually fuel our venture studio. We want to find the best talent in the world. We want to have the best product development markets in the world. And we also want to have great launch pads for our companies. That's why we're going to open an office in Austin. But the new IO is just, it's an evolution. We are an R&D company. You started very particularly an R&D company, and that's at the heart of it, and that's not gone. But what we've done is we've evolved our business model into this venture studio that has a launch pad. We're the only company in the world that can launch ecosystems in the way we do. No other company, I'm convinced of it, nobody can launch an ecosystem the way we can launch an ecosystem. We've built these incredible capabilities over the years, whether it's the research stack that we've created, all the papers that we've written to actually build. If you look at blockchain and ecosystems, it's a stack. We can build the full stack, not just the technology stack, but the stuff on top of the stack as well. So we've built all these capabilities to build components and infrastructure at every part of the technical stack. And now we're creating repeatable modules for that, so we can build other ecosystems or other products on top of those ecosystems. Not only that, though, we've built all the other parts of the system on top of it as well. We've built tremendously incredible capabilities in governance. We were the ones who convened the idea of a constitution. That is very difficult to do.
Yeah.
CivTech.
1,800 people in 50 countries
Crazy.
for a constitutional convention.
That's
63
never happened.
workshops. Never happened in the
Never
history,
happened.
ever.
But even conceiving it, and it was in your white paper originally, you know, always the legal and regulatory layer, and then the concept, like it was the beginnings of that. But we think about innovating not just in technology, but also in governance. And that's huge to be able to offer a new perspective. DAOs, we know how to build a DAO. The Midnight Foundation now will have a DAO appended to it. And we think very carefully about how governance works. And not a lot of companies do that. And I think that it's a true USP of our company as well. We've also gotten very good as part of I'm still talking about our launchpad and the components of our launchpad. We've gotten very good at, growth, marketing, branding. They have access now to these bespoke capabilities that we have to help them build these things in the future. So that's the new brand for me is that. And you and I have really come to a mission statement, which is to improve the systems of the world for everyone, everywhere. And that's what we do. We're a systems company. And I just love where we are, what we do. We haven't changed fundamentally. We're not changing our logo or anything like that, but we're actually just
Everybody
expanding.
tried.
Everybody tried to change his logo. Poor guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's fun to watch the dream become reality. We put 10 plus years of effort into this, collectively, everybody involved. And it's just bewildering when you really think about how much we've done. I've been to 75 countries in the last 10 years, And now we're starting to get good at what we do.
Yes.
Quantum Hosky, that presentation was just absolutely remarkable. And it's a high-risk, high-return asset. Very few people have the balls to go and say, let's build a hypervoxel four-dimensional MMO that's totally decentralized as a partner chain and a dual token model that also involves Dishbrain and AI agents and quantum computers, and turn that into like a repeatable business model. Like, holy shit, it's just out there.
Yeah.
It's just out there. But, we can afford to do that. And
Yes.
Midnight is much the same because if you look at Midnight, everybody who launches it like to do Aleo or anything else. They go raise $300 million and get some big guys behind it. They do an initial token distribution, and then they find some way of launching through exchanges.
Yeah.
And we did the opposite. We said, let's just do a glacier drop to 8 ecosystems, 7 different blockchains. Anybody, first come, first serve. Anybody wants it, they get it.
Yeah.
And giving it away for free. There's a lot of risks involved in that, but the democratization of that capability is extraordinary, if you pull it off. So we're truly excited about where this goes. And what's cool is we have probably 2 more ecosystems next year that we're going to be able to launch. The whole RealFi concept and bringing that bridge between the TradFi world and the DeFi world, and then the Quantum Hosky world to augment and enhance what we're already doing with Lace and what we're already doing with Midnight and Cardano and these other things. And it's speeding up.
And I think Project Galen too. I think we're entering the health healthcare
Yeah.
space as well. Might be an interesting one, but that's
Yeah, let's
two.
talk a little bit about your passion in healthcare.
Oh, well, I think it's a lot of people's passion that they don't even realize
Mm-hmm.
is their passion. But, well, you have a passion for this too. It really comes to data sovereignty when it comes to my own medical information. It obviously was sparked by my father. He had cancer, and so many people have experienced this where, their parent has cancer or somebody, their loved one has cancer, and you go to different doctors, and even just getting your medical information into one space, your own space that you own so that you don't have to go to your doctors to even query your own data, and holding your data just so you can actually have the doctors communicate with each other and hold your own data and understand your own data. It was just a nightmare dealing with my father because I dealt with several doctors in Canada and then several doctors in the United States. And it was honestly the worst part of the whole experience. I mean, obviously, not the worst part of the whole experience, but you get what I mean.
The most dehumanizing component.
Dehumanizing.
Yeah.
That was the word. It was so dehumanizing. It was awful. Honestly, it was awful. So me as well, as I traverse the world, I have several doctors in different areas, and I just can't get them to talk to each other. It's just ridiculous. So we just need to change those systems. That's one use case for the healthcare, for the health sector, is creating a way that the providers, all the different types of providers, have a DID, and it's connected to your DID, and you can actually hold your own data on your own application, whatever that application might be. There's a few in market right now. And you can actually communicate with your provider and own your own data and transfer your information seamlessly between providers. That is one of many use cases that are required in the healthcare industry. As you've taught me too, just the back ends in the United States alone, Athena, all this stuff, they're just old, lumbering. They don't even
and they have no incentives to work together.
I was talking to Nexifuse as well. They don't even have the ability to fuse these new systems onto that system as well to enable that transfer of data. But we're going to find a way. We're going to do this. Nexifuse is already doing it. We're going to be working with them as well. Midnight has the technology to now do the obfuscation of the data that is required of HIPAA. There's a whole ecosystem here that we're really interested. You and I have been talking about it for years. We're really interested in expanding. Of course, you have your clinic. It could be a perfect partner in this type of ecosystem. I won't go fully into the business model, but we got to solve this.
Oh, yeah.
And Charles and I really want to solve this, and I think this is something I'm particularly passionate about. So I hope we do that within IO as well. So that's kind of like an ecosystem we're starting to build as well this year, well into next year. It'll take a few years. And that's the point of our venture studio. Like, people get confused by incubators, accelerators, and venture studios. Venture studios are more intensive, time intensive. It requires more capabilities for the stuff that we're building. It means they're in our home a little bit longer. We call them our children sometimes. Our children are at home a little bit longer. It's okay, but we love our children. And so it takes it a little bit longer to spin out. But these are the hard problems, and we have to have them incubated because they're big problems. They come with liabilities and risks.
But they're transformational.
Yeah, yes.
You can fundamentally redefine healthcare in the entire world
Exactly.
if you solve it.
And we're going to do that one. I feel it in my bones. We're going to do that one.
I agree too. And speaking of children coming out, it's interesting when you look at a conference like this where we have like Apex Fusion, for example, next to us. And they're made up of a lot of ex-IOGers. Like, how does it feel when we walk around, we see, people that used to work with us, but now they've gone on, they've actually done their own thing. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
I absolutely love it. I love it so much. Again, there's like Dan, Apex Fusion.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Like, it's nice that we all got to work together at one time. There's the camaraderie there as well and an understanding. And then they go off and do the thing that they want to do. And IO doesn't always want to do everything either. And that's the thing. Some people just want to do things. We do a lot of things, but there's certain things that we just, as a business, we have to focus and we don't want to do. And other people can take the lead and do that. So, very happy to see Apex Fusion. I love Jerry and Tom. They're great guys. And it's awesome to see that build and all of them. Yeah, it's awesome.
Watched a lot of Tom and Jerry when I was a kid.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry, they work for the jokes wrote themselves. Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day. And the other thing is the horizontal scaling of Rare Evo. It's the Solana booth and the Hedera Hashgraph booth and the
Hashgraph,
Algorand booth.
Algorand's here.
Multiverse X is here. And it's really cool to see all these neighbors. We
Yeah, that
tried
was
to get
cool.
Ripple to come, but
They
maybe
didn't
next
come?
time they'll come.
Maybe they were just busy.
Yeah, they're very busy.
That's okay.
They're doing a
They'll
lot of
probably be
stuff.
here too. No, it was great seeing those folks as well, the other ecosystems. I love that. That wasn't at Rare the first few years.
No.
I don't even think they would have.
They wouldn't even
They wouldn't give
consider
us
it.
the time of day.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
we're starting to enter this new cooperative age. It's a lot of fun to
Amazing.
kind of talk around what unites us as opposed to what drives us apart
Yes.
as an ecosystem.
Yeah, and that's your whole term, cooperative economics, too.
Yeah.
And we're in the fourth era.
Yeah,
And,
the fourth generation, rational privacy, selective
it.
disclosure, cooperative
Economics.
economics.
It was time for that. Like and I now see, looking back, it's okay. It was a bit tribal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was okay that it was a bit engineering led, but like that, it's normal, right? Like
Yeah.
you're building the system that way. So, but now, exactly like you said, we're in a new era and we're evolving. I don't know exactly what era, and I'd love to plot the eras actually, as far as the system goes. But yeah, we're in a new era. It's very normal for this stuff to happen.
So, what's coming next? What should we be looking forward to for the next 6 months to 12 months?
IO.
In general, I/O and our schedule and things we're working on, or the space in general.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just can see it from my own lens and what I'm looking forward to. I mean, I'm just focused on IO personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really focused on making sure that we have the best company, that we're operating as this. I'm not going to go deeply into it, but we're operating as a very lean, complex adaptive system. So I'm very into systems model design, and that we're agile and we're expanding and contracting with AI and with the exponential ecosystems of which we built. I'm very interested in making sure that we, as a unit, as IO, and our surrounding entities, that we're so collaborative on every level, and we're sharing information, and we're growing, and we're able to focus on our customer instead of the bureaucracy. Not that we're very bureaucratic, actually. I think we've done a pretty good job at reducing the bureaucracy. So I'm focused on that, focusing on how do I get humans to collaborate more effectively together, and I'm focused on how do you build the human, and that's the next thing. So my partner will be coming in here in a second, and I just really want to help build the future leaders, the future builders of the world. So you and I have talked a lot about building a campus, an IO campus, an academy. So I'm going to be focused on what is that academy? What do we need inside of that academy to build the future leaders and the future ecosystem builders of the world? And I have a lot of ideas on it that focuses on both the inner space, the EQ element, and sort of the IQ element. And I want to partner with a lot of the right types of people to actually co-design and build that academy. And the campus that associates with it. So that's what I'm focused on, at least. You're more of like, this is the great thing about like when you're building a business, it's great to have complementary skill sets. So you're more into like, what's the future of blockchain and where is it going? He's more strategic in that sense, and I'm more like thinking about how do you build organizations, people, how do you build the human up inside of these things? That's my main passion. So, and I think we complement each other quite nicely on that. So as far as visionary stuff goes, there's all the RWA stuff that's going to come online with Midnight, and there's, I mean, maybe I'll like DeFi one day. I mean, I always joke I don't really like yield farming and stuff like that.
Nobody likes DeFi.
I would
That's
like
why
more,
they call them degenerates.
Oh, they do. Oh,
Yeah.
degens. Yeah, degenerates. Yeah. So, I mean, more women involved, too, will be really nice. I think we're going to see, like, a beautiful expansion of the Cardano ecosystem. And Midnight. Midnight is going to explode in the best sort of way. Because Midnight gets to learn the things that we learned in Cardano, and it gets to inherit those things. And Midnight is the layer that we've been missing for the applications to bring real-world assets online and to interconnect with enterprise. So, and now that we're connected to all these ecosystems, like you said, through the airdrop, it's just going to be super collaborative as we do this. And it's going to be so interoperable with Bitcoin DeFi as well.
I mean, we've fixed a lot of broken windows. Like
Totally.
Brave is here. You know, we just blockchain.com
Brave,
just announced the support for Glacier Drop. You know,
Oh, awesome.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
it's just wonderful.
Oh,
And
woo.
Bitcoin.com's not too far
That's great.
behind. And you know, just
That's great.
we did $23 million worth of integrations for Cardano on behalf of Midnight. And,
Yes, that's right.
It's just been extraordinary to see how quickly things have come together, and I just love that we have a strong commercial team and a good deal making engine.
We have a great team now.
And it's great to work with the community, like the Moneta workshop, where they
Yeah.
did the private stablecoin workshop for the AI agents and these
Yep.
things down in Argentina. That Argentina office is beautiful. And
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's our
so-
flagship office. That's the first office as part of our spokes that he's talking about in Argentina
Yeah.
that JJ started up, and it's going really well. Like
Yeah.
we have an event in November, right?
I believe we do, and then
do.
and that
Yeah.
Austin office won't be too far
Yeah,
behind.
the
so-
Austin office will be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I wish we had more time, but
I
unfortunately,
know.
we're on a very tight schedule
We
here
are.
at Rare Evo.
We are.
So, some closing thoughts or words for the audience for Chaz and Ginger Snap episode 3.
Well, we'll be doing this more for sure, but I would just say, like, there's hope. Like we have it. There's not even hope anymore. Hope is turned into action, and just be excited to go along this journey with us, and just know that literally anything is possible. There's a lot of things I was like, I don't know if that's possible, but we see the reality through this booth, through what we've done, through Rare Evo, that this is all very possible. Anything is possible. You just have to have resilience and persistence to get there.
Well, there you have it, folks. We're here broadcasting from Las Vegas, 110 degrees outside, so hot you can cook an egg on the rock. But that's okay because we're here in an air-conditioned broadcast studio booth. I get to have that nice, this is CNN voice. Broadcasting live. And now you know the rest of the story. Until next time, this is Charles Hoskinson and Tamara Haasen, Chaz, and
Ginger snaps.
cheers.